All right, ladies and gentlemen, the first A-Main of 2014. On your feet, wave these drivers on. It's the Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. It was a long, cold winter. Wave these drivers on for the first 20-lap feature event of the season. 2x2, 10 rows of beautifully prepared sprint cars ready to come to life. Sean Slater, Keith Dempster on the front row. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show. Well, here you go. Let's end 8 months of anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation.
So here we go, the rookie Sean Slater next to the veteran Keith Dempster, but here comes Dave Dykstra getting in on that. Side by side, the pair of 5 cars out of turn 2.
Dykstra, Dempster, side by side into corner 3 and through 4. The pack right in behind them. Third place, Mitch Brown, and then it's a gaggle of cars in behind them.
Still side by side for the lead into turn 1. Now Dykstra comes out of turn 2 with it for now, right up to the wall on the back straightaway. And back down to the bottom in turn 3 and 4. Dykstra will lead lap number 2.
Dykstra, your leader. Dempster in second. Mitch Brown closing on the top 2, sitting in third. Paige Poliak now sitting in fourth. And moving to the inside, challenging for fifth, is Todd Hoddick, but give the spot to Sean Slater.
Paige Poliak, her first time racing here at Ohsweken, but you wouldn't know it right now, running in the 5th spot. And running in the 4th spot is Poliak, and running down Mitch Brown in the number 10.
Brown down, looking to the inside of number 5, Keith Dempster, and Mitch Brown will slide by for the 2nd spot.
Justin Martin and Jason Martin both go for a spin up in turn number 4. Yellow flag will come out. So the team cars spin out up in turn number 4. Justin Martin, the 7M, got around, and Jason Martin had nowhere to go, had to spin it around to avoid hitting him.
So Dave Dykstra, your leader in the 5D, the 10 of Mitch Brown in second. Third is the 5 of Keith Dempster. And then you've got Paige Poliak sitting there in fourth, and Todd Hoddick running 5th. So the top 6 right now, you got a mixture of Ontario and U.S. drivers. Top 3 all from Ontario. The next 3, Paige Poliak out of Ohio, and then Todd Hoddick and Scott Kruder out of New York State. Mitch Brown already with 1 win this year in car number 10. That came at Ohsweken Speedway last Saturday night in Southern Ontario Sprints competition. Ready to get back on it next time by. Single file past the restart cone just to the exit of corner 4. Once they pass that cone, they are free to pass other competitors, but they must stay single file past that cone. Dave Dykstra, Mitch Brown, Keith Dempster, your top 3 coming back to the green flag. 4 laps in, 16 to go.
So here we go. Dykstra gets a good start. Single file past the cone, and down to the bottom Dykstra goes. Mitch Brown not with a good start, and Dempster didn't get a good start either. Poliak gets around him.
Yeah, Paige Poliak slips by the 5 of Keith Dempster. This is where she was at Humberstone. Finished 3rd in Mike Woodring's car. She's picking up where she left off in Miles Hill's 77X.
Mikey Krutchka with a good run around the top side. The only car in the top 5 able to make that work. And now he's up into the 5th spot and going for more. Has his sights set on Keith Dempster in the 5.
Mikey is hooked up. Started in 12th and now challenging for a top 5. He's hot off the win at Humberstone. He rockets by for 4th place.
So Mikey Krutchka up to 4th now. Dykstra continues to lead. Then it's Mitch Brown, Paige Poliak, Krutchka, Keith Dempster, and Scott Kruder still knocking on the door for a top 5 spot.
Right now we've got about 3 drivers using the outside line as Jason Martin spins down a corner 4, gathers it back up just as the leaders get there. I was about to say, we've got 3 drivers using the top line. Mikey Krutchka, Todd Hoddick, and Glenn Styres.
And Krutchka, the most successful of those so far, up into the 4th spot in the 0-1. Dykstra a bit slow down in turn 4 that time. Mitch Brown, Paige Poliak, and Mikey Krutchka are right there now.
Jason Martin will take the 77M into the pit areas. Dave Dykstra leads it over Mitch Brown. Here comes Mikey Krutchka to the outside of Paige Poliak. Looking for the 3rd spot. He'll grab it.
So Krutchka up to third now, has the benefit of these drivers ahead of him not having rear view mirrors in the sprint cars. So they have no idea he's making the top side work so successfully.
Troubles for Scott Kruder. He'll pull it down to the infield and come to a rest just past the halfway point in this one. The guys working the top side are making up the most hay. Todd Hoddick and Mikey Krutchka solidified into the top 5. Here comes Krutchka with a run on the leaders.
Two good grooves of racing here tonight. This track in good shape. Dykstra on the bottom with the lead right now. Hoddick hits the wall up on the straightaway and then comes to a stop in turn number 1.
So the yellow flag out for Todd Hoddick.
So Hoddick was making it work on the top side, but just got a little bit too high trying to make his corner entrance up in turn 1 and caught the wall. Comes to a stop up there.
So Todd Hoddick will get a couple of minutes in the pit area to make any repairs necessary. The high side is where it's at right now. Mikey Krutchka and Todd Hoddick, before he had the troubles up in corner number 1, were the two making up the most ground, and they were running the top side. So no 2 minutes for Todd Hoddick. He is finished. Too much damage on the car number 49. Also a rough start to the season for Scott Kruder.
And he's hanging around up in the top 6 or 7 as well. We've seen him right around this time of the race. This is when he kind of decides what he's got and tries to make his way forward.
Green flag is out. The hammer's back down. Dave Dykstra leads him to the green flag. Let's settle this one. 8 laps to go. Mikey and Glenn go to the top. The rest stay on the bottom.
Polyak had a run on Krutchka down in turn 2 on the inside. Couldn't get that done. And now Krutchka with a good run out of turn number 4. But Dykstra and Brown will maintain their first and second spots.
Mikey Krutchka's got a great run going. He reels in Mitch Brown now. He's within a half a car length. Up to the top side of car number 10. Mikey Krutchka on a line, will shoot past second. Had to get on the binders there.
So Krutchka up fighting for the second spot now and gets around Brown way up to the wall. Dykstra almost pushes Krutchka into the wall, but gives him enough room, and now Krutchka will take the lead out of turn 4.
Krutchka grabs it with 5 laps to go. Glenn Styres is charging on the high side. I'm surprised no one else is going upstairs. These are the 2 fastest cars on the track.
Now Dempster makes his way back around Polyak and gets the 4th spot. Mitch Brown starting to fall back into number 10. Krutchka is gone in the 0-1.
Well, Mikey Krutchka works it down the backstretch with Dave Dykstra in second, Mitch Brown in third. Here comes Glenn Styres. Does he have anything? Now finally Jim Hoopinen moves upstairs to try and make some moves.
And Hoopinen makes up a spot on Polyak with that one. Dykstra not going away on the bottom though. Can't get a good run down the straightaways, but he's right there with Krutchka in the corners.
2 to go, and I hate to say it, but Glenn Styres is now into the mix. He's going to be in second. The top shelf drivers are at the top of the leaderboard. Glenn Styres in second. Does he have anything for Mikey Krutchka?
So 1.5 laps left to go. Styres is right there, but he makes it off the end of turn 3 just a bit. Now a yellow out for Chris Steele. Chris Steele gets spun around up in turn 2.
Well, this is going to get interesting. The 2 drivers that were running the top are now at the top of the pile, first and second. Glenn Styres catching Mikey Krutchka. Does he have anything for him? It's easy for us to sit here in the tower and say, Mikey and Glenn are fast up top. Why isn't everyone else doing it? Well, their car may not be able to run up there. That's just plain and simple the setup that they have.
Yeah, these drivers have a little bit of adjustability with that wing, but other than that, they put a setup in the car before the feature, and they're kind of stuck with it. So if they don't have the right tire stagger or the right bars or spacers on the right rear of that car, they're pretty much stuck with what they've got and have to make do on the bottom side.
And no real surprise to see these 2 guys run on the high side. I mean, Glenn Styres, that's where he gets all of his business done, is up on that high side. Mikey Krutchka, he diversified quite a bit last year to get himself to victory lane, but he is a good topside runner. It takes a lot of talent to run up there, too, because it's a fine line.
Yeah, definitely. There's not much of a cushion out there right now. It's pretty much all blown off, so the edge of the top groove is right at the edge of the banking of the track, so have to be careful up there. It's fast if you can make it work, though.
White flag is out. 2 laps to settle it. Mikey Krutchka, Glenn Styres. The top 2, Dave Dykstra, Mitch Brown, 3rd and 4th, Keith Dempster in 5th, Jim Hoopin in 6th, Paige Poliak 7th, 8th is Shane Ross, 9th, Jesse Costin, rounding out the top 10, Jamie Turner. Single file past the restart cone, until they get past the restart cone, with Mikey Krutchka the leader. He's going to go way up high the banking. Oh, he gets on the hammer quick. Green flag is out, and we're on it.
So single file past the cone. Krutchka has the lead, takes it to the bottom side now in turns 1 and 2. Styres followed him through.
This time coming to the white flag. Mikey Krutchka a lap away from his 5th career win, 4th at Ohsweken Speedway, and 2nd in a row. Here comes Styres to the bottom. He grabs the lead down the back chute. Does Mikey have anything for the final corners?
Through corners 3 and 4 the final time. Krutchka not close enough. Styres is going to get the feature win. 2nd will be Krutchka. Then it's Mitch Brown, Dave Dykstra, Jim Hoopin, and rounding out the top 5. Keith Dempster will finish 6th. Then it's Paige Poliak, Shane Ross, Jamie Turner, Kyle Patrick rounding out the top 10.
Glenn Styres with the celebratory donuts down in corner number 4. Here on Woodstock Ford night, Mikey Krutchka 2nd, Mitch Brown 3rd. We've had 3 sprint car races in the province of Ontario so far this year. Here's the 3 winners. Mitch Brown last Saturday at Brighton, Mikey Krutchka at Humberstone on Sunday, and now Glenn Styres picks up his first checkered flag here at Ohsweken Speedway. We'll catch up with 2nd place, Mikey Krutchka.
Well, as we wait for Glenn to pull into victory lane, Mikey, a run there, you did not need that last caution.
Come on, make some noise. That was awesome. Yeah, he really didn't need that last caution, but hey, man, whatever. We started 12th, and you know, if it wasn't for that last caution, I'm pretty sure I would have got him. It would have been cool if the scoreboard was working tonight, then I could have kind of known who was behind me, and I could have raced him a little dirtier, maybe, but nah, I'm just kidding. It's cool to see Glenn win, but what am I saying? It sucks to see Glenn win. Come on, we want to see the 01 win. What up?
There you have it for Mikey Krutchka. We'll get over here with Mitch Brown in a second. The 0 car working his way out here. We'll get over here and grab a quick word with Mitch. Mitch Brown so far this season, the top 3 tonight are the 3 guys that won races in Southern Ontario so far. You got to be pretty happy with 3rd, or can you go home pleased with that?
There's a couple things I'd like to do different, but you know, to be on the front straightaway with these 2, it's pretty good right now.
All right, there you have it, Mitch Brown 3rd. How about it for Glenn Styres? He pulls into victory lane. We'll turn it over to Greg Calnan.
Mikey says, enjoy, bud. That's the last one you're going to get. There's the plaque, Glenn. All I got to ask, what did you do down in corner 1? That was an amazing pass to get by Mikey.
Well, the car was good all over. It was actually better up top, but I could see he was kind of spinning through the middle of the corner, so I had a little bit of momentum going in, and I figured it was payback because he cut me off last week, so I cut him off this week. Right on.
You were a long ways back, but only you and Mikey were running the top side. Did you ever think you'd make up that much ground in that short a time?
You know, I don't know how far back I was, but when I could see everybody was really loose and spinning, so it was just a matter of time. As long as the cautions come at the right time, in which they did, man, it was amazing. It was a fun ride, and man, Steve got the car set up just dynamite. It was amazing to drive. I just had to steer it.
2 rough weeks of weather. This has to make up for it as a promoter. You finally get back to victory lane.
You know, you couldn't knock the smile off my face, man. I've been so happy all day. it's incredible to, you know, it was threatening rain and, you know, a small percentage of rain and it was cold and, you know, in that situation, we haven't really been able to work on a track because it's been so wet. But man, what a treat you guys got tonight. It's been pretty incredible out here.
Let's hear it for tonight's winner of Woodstock 4-night, Glenn Styres, the Ohsweken Flyer.
Thank you. Come on in, guys. All right. 2 weeks. Get in there. Get in there. You got a cheer hold this one. $20. Hey, sir, right here. Everybody look at Derek.
If you're wondering where the two-seat sprint cars are, they'll be back in 2 weeks' time, so you can go for a ride of a lifetime with a two-seat sprint car if you want to see what it's all about. $100. Gets you 5 laps. So stay tuned. In 2 weeks, we'll have a two-seater.
Rest. Coming to salute you, the fans. On your feet, wave your hat, your programs, whatever you got. Send these drivers on. It's the Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. Show, well, here you go. Let's end all the anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation.
So here we go, a pair of 2014 feature winners on the front row. Steele on the inside, Styres on the outside. Steele tries to slide up, but Styres will take over the lead down the backstretch.
Glenn Styres very quickly to the point, but here comes the real deal. Chris Steele in his tire tracks. 2 drivers at the front already with feature wins here in 2014.
Styres has the early lead. Steele second. Malloy with a good run on the bottom now in the 5M, and here comes Patrick and Mitch Brown in the top 5 again.
Brad Malloy, impressive run here tonight. First race back in a year aboard that 5M, running in the 3rd spot, showing no signs of rust at all.
Malloy doesn't run here all that often anymore, but when he does, he's always a threat. And now he falls back a bit. Patrick to the outside, trying to take over 3rd from Malloy.
Chris Steele holding down the 2nd spot, but here comes the Tilbury Tornado to the outside of Brad Malloy. Malloy has a spot for a moment, but Patrick back to the outside, trying to grab 3rd away.
So Styres has a 1.8 second lead right now over Chris Steele, as Patrick and Malloy still fight over that 3rd spot. Patrick not able to gain much on Steele right now.
Wow, Glenn Styres bobbled a lot up at corner 3 that time, caught a rut up around the berm there, and he gathers it back up, but he did lose a little bit of time that time around to Chris Steele.
Right now the top side is the fast way around. Malloy, the only driver in the top 5, trying to run the bottom, and that's not working out well to his advantage right now as Styres catches the tail end of the field.
Yeah, Styres will work around John Burbridge in the 21J, up around the top side in corner number 2. He'll clear him very easily. Next car in line will be Connor Mahoney in the 5C.
So Styres puts a lap on Burbridge, and now heavy traffic is going to be in front of Styres, including a pair of cars side by side, Zankin and Mahoney that last time.
Styres works to the outside of Mahoney, now catches the back end of the 94 of Stan Zankin, and Zankin running a little higher up, so it's going to be harder for the leader Styres to get by Zankin.
Steele has gained a little bit on Styres in this traffic, but still Styres have about a half straightaway lead. Steele is second, then it's Patrick. Then you go back another straightaway to Brad Malloy and Mitch Brown. Behind them, Todd Hoddick, Justin Martin with a wild ride up there, Jessica Zemkin, Shane Ross, and Jim Hoopin in the top 10.
Yeah, the top three have definitely broken away. They're two-lap cars between third place Kyle Patrick and fourth place Mitch Brown. The 10 car has now moved up into the top 5 once again. Mitch Brown with a great season going on right now.
Steele is now 1.4 seconds behind Styres. He has cut into the lead just a little bit, but Styres is going to have some clear track ahead of him once he clears the 10J of Hughes and the 71 of Slider.
9 more laps to go for Glenn Styres in the 0, looking for his second win of the season. He won on opening night. He'd like to grab another. He's second place in the points coming into tonight.
Kyle Patrick is working as hard as he can to try to get around the 80 of Chris Steele, still up there fighting for that spot, and a bit of smoke out of the 33K the last time through corner 4.
Here comes Kyle Patrick down to the inside of the real deal, Chris Steele. The Tilbury Tornado shoots by. He'll grab the runner-up position as there are now just 7 laps to go.
Styres has clear track in front of him now as the second and third place cars have 3 lapped cars in between. Patrick has cleared the 71 of Slider, now sets his sights on Hughes.
Tell you what, Kyle Patrick is definitely making a hard charge here with 6 laps to go. He's got 1 lap car between he and the leader. He'll work to the outside of Jeremy Hughes through 3 and 4.
And Patrick is definitely gaining on Styres now, has cut another 0.2 of a second off the lead that time by. Still 5 to go. Patrick is not out of this yet.
No, he gained more ground that lap, I believe, as well, as he closes the distance big time in corner number 3 across the stripe. This time, Glenn Styres is your leader. The differential, another 0.3 knocked off.
And Styres now sees more traffic ahead, so Patrick is going to have a chance here with 3.5 laps left to go. Patrick is there now.
Tornado warning for the Ohsweken Flyer. Glenn Styres, the Tilbury Tornado, in his tire tracks with 3 laps to go. The differential now just 0.3 of a second as they go into corner 3.
And Styres has not heard or seen anybody all race. He does not know Patrick is there yet. 2 to go now for your leader, Styres, but Patrick is there. And a spin for Justin Martin in turn 2. We will keep going.
And Kyle Patrick, I think, got out of the throttle. That may have just cost him a shot at the win. He stays though there. Glenn Styres slipped up a little bit in corner 4. White flag is out.
Patrick has to try to split these 2 lapped cars. He will get around Dempster, but does he have enough time to catch Styres?
Oh, he really was loose off of corner number 2 that time. He'll make one more bonsai move through 3 and 4, but off the 4th corner, repeat winner, second time this year, Glenn Styres wins.
And another caution-free feature, another track record for the Corpac Merchandising Sprint Cars, 5 minutes and 10 seconds on that race.
He's out of the car. You can hear you, the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Styres. We'll bring you over here to the back of the car, Glenn. To be fair to the other competitors, you had the most track time this week, but you're aboard a tractor in corner 1 and 2. This track was beautiful tonight. You can't imagine the hours that my team spent to make this happen. I mean, I got to thank Redway Fuels for supplying all the fuel for tonight and all of the work that we did all week. Burger Barn gave me a heck of a deal, tearing that apart. Greg Isaac, Stoney's Trucking, helped us. I mean, without the teamwork of all of the guys down here in their businesses, helping us make this possible, we wouldn't be in the shape we're in. The track was amazing, and Steve Moulton gave me a heck of a car tonight. It was like on a rail. It was so smooth, and man, all this hard work paid off.
Kyle Patrick was closing in those final few laps, but your car seemed like it was on rails no matter where you were running.
Well, I just wanted to take it easy because I don't know if you could tell, but in turn 3 and 4, the car kind of got wound up in the corner, in the middle of the corner, so I couldn't see anybody behind me or hear anybody. I mean, I kind of thought somebody was close, but I was probably 3/4 throttle. I had a lot more to go, so just hanging in there and keeping it safe.
Well, you've got the second win of the season, the first driver with 2 wins. How's that sound, Glenn?
That's pretty awesome. You know what? Again, my sponsors, Case, all of the equipment that they give us, and O'Neill's to make this possible for us. I just can't thank them enough. They give us a new grader. I mean, the stuff that they've done for us, and Corpac Sprint's giving us a nice championship fund. I mean, everything's just coming so awesome. So you guys got to help us and advertise for us and bring a friend and help us pay for some of these bills here. Thank you all.
Let's hear it for the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Styres. Clinton Jeffrey has got the Tilbury Tornado, who came home second.
Well, Greg was calling for a tornado warning for Glenn. You were coming, Kyle. Can you be happy with second tonight?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely happy with that. I mean, the car was there. We were moving and shaking when we got her into second there, and started reeling him in a little bit. I think I got some for him. And started wheeling around some lap traffic on the bottom, and I was still making good time. And I thought, well, when I get to him, I'm probably going to be able to put a move on him. And just a racing deal. We got crossed up there and some lap traffic up the top of 2 here, and just let him get in the way enough to get away from me. But no, we're definitely happy with that. It was car was good. We've been struggling with it, and we finally got her back now, and it's definitely running around here good.
All right, there you have it, Kyle Patrick. Second, Chris Steele, can you be happy with third tonight? I probably could have used a yellow.
Yeah. First off, hats off goes to Glenn and crew for getting this track in shape. Track was awesome tonight, so hats off to him for the win. And yeah, I guess I could have used caution. I don't know. I mean, I was faint at the end there, and top 3 is pretty good, so I'll take it.
Good night in the points. How about a hand for our top 3? Glenn Styres, Kyle Patrick, and Chris Steele tonight in the Corpac Merchandising Sprint Cars.
Kyle.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Each RW automotive mini stock straight for their 15-lap feature here at 6 Nations annual night. 24 cars scheduled to start.
The field will now take formation. They will go 4 wide to salute you, the fans. The greatest sight in all of motorsports. Fans, we need you on your feet to wave these 20 drivers on. 20 of the best, 4 abreast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on your feet, wave your hat, wave your program, wave your seat cushion, whatever you got. Send these 20 drivers on Ohsweken Speedway style. This is the Corpac Merchandising Sprint Cars. Chris Steele on the front row. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show. Well, here you go. Let's end all the anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation.
So here we go with Poirier in his first race at Ohsweken in 2014, and he's up into the lead now with Steele making his way around the top side. He'll have second down the backstretch.
Poirier the leader, but here comes Chris Steele on the high side. The real deal with 1 win here already, won at the Humberstone Speedway. He settles back in second behind the leader, Poirier.
Steele has a good line around the outside. Poirier on the inside. Glenn Styres is another driver with a good line around the outside. And he said earlier tonight he wants that top side to come in, and he doesn't want some other drivers to be up there. Right now, Jason Barney and Chris Steele are up there in that top side in turns 3 and 4 anyway.
Styres will blast by Patrick. He's picked up 2 positions now into the 4th spot. Meanwhile, Poirier, your leader, Chris Steele sitting in second. Mitch Brown make that Jason Barney sitting there in third.
So Barney's running the top side in 3 and 4 and the bottom in 1 and 2, and that's keeping Glenn Styres behind him for the moment, but Barney slipped that time. Now Styres gets a good run into turn 3.
Styres has to look a little bit lower on the 87 of Jason Barney. Had to roll up a bit, and he loses his momentum. Kyle Patrick now charging back on the 0 Styres.
Chris Steele has not let Steve Poirier get away too far here. It's still less than a second between those two at the front. Styres with a big move into turn 3 that time, but out of turn 4, Barney will keep the third spot.
Here comes Chris Steele. He's got the leader in his sights, but Poirier very smooth on the bottom side of the 28 FM. The Fireball getting it done, but here comes the real deal. Chris Steele up top.
The track is starting to go away and get slicked off a little bit, especially up in turns 3 and 4. And Poirier sticking to his guns down there, running the bottom all the way around, but Chris Steele is right there and is gaining on him a little bit in this time through 3 and 4.
Glenn Styres to the inside of Jason Barney. He'll grab the third spot for a moment. Jason Barney, though, staying strong on the bottom side. He bobbles a bit into the corner 1, and he's got sparks flying out of the front end of the 87.
Yeah, problems on the brakes there, it looks like, on the 87 of Barney, and he falls back to the 4th spot with that brand new car for him. Kyle Patrick now has gotten up to the 5th spot, and he's going to try to go after Barney.
Here comes Chris Steele to the outside of Steve Poirier. The real deal, trying to get by the 3-time Canadian Sprint Car Nationals champion, and he'll grab the lead of the line.
And Poirier now fights back to the inside. Steele will take it down lower. They both have to get around the slower car of Zankin, and now Styres has caught both of them.
Yeah, the Ohsweken flyer, Glenn Styres, this is playing into his favor as the leader's mired in traffic. The 0 car has closed the gap.
Kyle Patrick now gets around the 87 of Barney, and here comes Todd Hoddick. He's fighting for a top 5 spot. Poirier now with more traffic ahead.
Poirier to the inside of Chris Steele, but here comes, of Chris Jones. Chris Steele on the top side trying to work by the leader as they get back into more heavy traffic.
And Poirier sees Chris Jones right in his line of vision there. He gets up, almost gets into the number 9 of Daniels, and now Poirier will clear both those cars with a good move. Steele spins it in turn 3 and 4, and we'll have to go yellow.
Wow, Chris Steele, phenomenal run, giving Steve Poirier a run for his money, loops the car around between 3 and 4, and brings out the first caution of the race. 12 laps in, 8 to go. So now Glenn Styres on the back Nerf bar of the Fireball, Steve Poirier. Well, no lap cars between the top drivers, so this is what Glenn Styres needed on this restart.
So we're ready to go now with Poirier and Styres leading us down. Patrick third, single file past the cone, and Poirier with a bit of a bobble on the start there. That'll allow Styres to get a good run through corners 1 and 2.
Wow. Havert Daniels has the restart cone lodged in his side Nerf bars. I'd say about 5 cars hit the cone. Meanwhile, Glenn Styres is your leader going into corner 1.
So Styres takes the lead with Poirier back to second now. Patrick is third, Hoddick up to 4th with Barney fighting with Hooperton for the 5th spot.
Across the stripe, Glenn Styres leads lap number 13, 7 laps to go for the Ohsweken Flyer, looking to get another win, make it 3 this season in Corpac Merchandising Sprint Car Competition.
Styres pulling away now from Poirier as Patrick tries to catch the 28 FM. The driver out of Quebec now on the top side as the bottom has gone away for him.
Troubles, I believe, for Keith Dempster as the 5-car slows going down the front stretch. He goes high. Looks like he'll be able to make it into the pit area. The big high five from Kyle McKenzie as we just have 5 laps to go, and this one is Styres pulling away from Steve Poirier.
Yeah, Styres is on a rail right now, has that 0 car going anywhere that he wants it to go, as he will have to put a lap on Stan Zankin here before the end of this race. Still 4 laps left to go with Poirier second, Patrick third, Hoddick fourth, and Barney fifth.
Nice job by Jason Barney to keep that car going. He's still having problems with the brakes. Every once in a while you see a little bit of sparkage coming out of the front end of the 87. So Jason Barney did a nice job hanging in the top 5.
So now Patrick had a run on Poirier down in 1 and 2 that time, but now falls back as he almost got up into the wall out of corner 2. Styres sees some heavy traffic ahead as Jones and Steele running top and bottom.
Well, the leader, Glenn Styres, working into heavy traffic. If Poirier is going to have a shot at the win, it's going to happen here. Zenkin with troubles up at quarter 1. Looks like he'll be able to make it to the pit area. And the white flag comes out for Glenn Styres, your leader at the line.
Styres with heavy traffic up ahead of him, but he's got a good lead out of Poirier right now.
And Styres will work through the rest of the lap traffic, see the checkered flag off of corner 4, and grab his third win of the year here at Ohsweken. Steve Poirier will finish second, Kyle Patrick third. We'll go down to Mobile 1, Victory Lane, with the winner, Glenn Styres.
Jason Barney will take fourth, Jim Hoopen fifth, Justin Martin sixth, Mitch Brown seventh, Dave Dykstra eighth, Shane Ross ninth, and Jeremy Hughes with a career best run finishes 10th in the 10J.
Excellent job winning. What was that donut all about, Glenn?
There were so many cars behind me. I didn't know if any more were coming or not. And when I tried to do a little donut there, it stalled. So, hooray.
You get to win, though, a huge win to beat a guy like Steve Poirier, 3-time Canadian Sprint Car Nationals champion. Does that give you some confidence heading into the big race at the end of the year?
You know what? With Steve Moulton working on the car and getting it set up the way it's been running, the thing will drive anywhere. I can go high, low, and even through this slick stuff, it's amazing. So I got to hand it off to him, man. I mean, I couldn't do it without him. And with Strickland's our sponsor tonight, I mean, that couldn't be a better win for me.
Talk about the racetrack tonight. It looked beautiful out there, not too wet, not too dry. How was it from the driver's seat?
Well, it was good around the top. I'm glad Steve went to the bottom because I'm, traditionally better at the top. And the bottom is kind of choppy, so I went down there a few times and we were okay. But yeah, just to rip around the top is incredible. You're just hanging on for dear life.
Who would you like to thank for the win here tonight?
Well, first of all, Renway Fuels for powering my beast here, and my brother with the Nighthawks, and Case, O'Neill's big time, and Corpac up there. Thank you very much. And everybody else, all the fans mainly. I mean, we couldn't do it without you guys. So thanks for being a big support for us, and keep bringing your friends.
Well, let's hear it for the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Styres, tonight's winner in the Corpac Merchandising Sprint Car A main event. We'll send it over to Clinton Jeffrey.
Steve Poirier, man, you're always tough here at Ohsweken. Glenn got one away from you tonight. Can you be satisfied with second?
Oh yeah, it's always good to finish second. Glenn runs super good here, especially when the top is fast. I didn't know, I thought at some point that there was some car trying to get me on the outside. When I tried it, I didn't felt like my car was fast enough to be there. It was super good at the beginning, but when the moisture got away a little bit after that, I was slower.
All right, there. How about second place tonight, all the way from Quebec, Steve Poirier? We got up here to talk to Tilsonburg's Kyle Patrick. Kyle, solid run for you. Can you be satisfied with third tonight? Got to be a satisfying night whenever you can finish second to Glenn and Steve Poirier here at Ohsweken.
Oh yeah, you know what? I mean, we got the car rolling really good right now. Just got to get comfortable with it. The car's working better than it has here in the many years we've been out here. you know, just getting used to things. It's nice. It's nice to have a good car underneath of us. And I mean, we got finishes shown. We got really good nights back to back here, and good heat race. And you know, these guys are good. I mean, we always struggle behind some of these guys, and now to be up here running with them, we can't complain. But no, we're definitely happy with it. We got to thank everyone that helps us get out here like this. We got to thank Champion Motor Oil, RMB Restorations, Patrick Welding, McKinley Electric, the Heg Shop, Ross Brothers Farms, Marchand Truck and Trailer Repair. You know, it's a big team effort to get out here every week. It's a ton of work goes into these things to come out here, and just a good time.
There you have it, Kyle Patrick, third tonight. How about a hand for all of our top three in the Corpac merchandising sprint cars? Glenn Styres, Steve Bray, and Kyle Patrick. You see the Dirt Car Sportsmen are lined up here ready to roll, and they are excited. I hope you are as well.
A fine field of 24 Dirt Car Sportsmen modifieds have made their way.
Well, it's not hard to see that these drivers filed up in their 4-wide formation. And with 24 cars tonight, we have a nice divisible number to make even rows throughout. So from turn number 4 to turn number 1, everybody needs to stand up. Come on, and not enough people standing. Let's have some fun. The wave lap for the Patriot Sprint Tour. Wave a piece of food and get these guys ready to go, and girls, for 25 laps. And get that pace truck moving, because a nice fan out session about to take place as they clean out the engines one last time. I say we just bring them to green right now. 4-wide start would be quite interesting, but the pace truck gets in and they will clean them out in a 2-wide formation. Well, it would be interesting though to see Haddock or Bergeron or Patrick go to victory lane. Guys, maybe you don't see it on Ohsweken victory lane. In Haddock's case, you never have. Winged Bean and coming to Dale Schuneman's green out of turn number 4. Patriot Sprint Tour ready to go full bore as they wait for that first chalk line. No firing until they get in the box. They're there, and we're green.
The A-main is underway as they rumble, bumble, stumble down into corner number 1 with Alain Bergeron grabbing the lead, but the juice shoots to the outside.
But not enough. Bergeron hangs on to the race lead. Throwing it in hard, though, up on the top. Zimbardi looking to lead lap number 1. He won't do it, but Bergeron has company for the race lead.
Bergeron on the bottom, and here comes Zimbardi on the outside line. He gets some momentum, but it seems to dissipate as he comes off the second corner.
Bergeron stuck right on the rail, a place he likes to venture early in an event. Zimbardi in the lead here on lap number 2.
Put the juice to the top of the board, but Bergeron sticks strong on the bottom side. Haddock right now in 3rd, and last year's winner, Jason Barney, in 4th.
Well, no surprise to see some of these names. Haddock's got a pretty good car up on the top, but I thought he would move down to the inside rail. That's what Barney's banking on right now, that the track's going to come in later in the run. 3 wide for 6th.
At the front, the Juice, Jared Zimbardi is your leader. Extreme lines here. Juice on the top, Bergeron on the bottom, and Haddock closing the gap on 2nd.
Yeah, no question about it. Haddock may put himself back into that runner-up spot very quickly. If not now, maybe in the lap traffic. I like this little 3-wide battle off at turn number 2, though. Mitch Brown runs in spot number 6. Styres up on the top. Steele right behind him. Then Adam Zach in a 3-wide scramble behind that.
The leader will be catching lap traffic here in about a lap and a half, possibly, as Corey Turner, the first car in line. Haddock into 2nd, running that top side groove. He'll work by Alain Bergeron and put Bergeron back to 3rd. It's Barney in 4th and Kyle Patrick 5th.
You know, Greg, when you get a field like this, the lap cars are basically a product of missing the setup. I see some drivers that are stuck to the bottom, and that's not necessarily the place to be. Haddock into 2nd and going after the race leader.
Yeah, Haddock is gaining a ton of ground each and every lap, and he is there now as the leaders work through lap traffic. They dispose of Corey Turner. Next up is Justin Martin and Keith Dempster.
And Haddock might have this lead out of turn number 4. Zimbardi gets slowed down. Well, he won't have it off of 4, but he's going to try something into turn number 1.
Here they are, nose to tail. Zimbardi running that high groove. Justin Martin is right where he wants to be, so this may slow the leader up. Here comes Hoddick. He's right there in the tail tank.
Looks down to the inside, and Dempster very slow on the bottom, but Zimbardi will split him, but he can't clear Martin. Here comes Todd Hoddick for the lead.
Great run off of corner number 2. He'll slip by Keith Dempster. Zimbardi goes down low. Todd Hoddick will line up.
Wow, he rode that thing right through the middle and just killed his momentum. I don't think Hoddick's going to want to go back through there next time.
He'll have to try a new way around Justin Martin, this time off of corner 2. Zimbardi is your leader. Martin, the lap car, right in front of Zimbardi and Hoddick.
Maybe hard to watch right now, but the third place battle is a 4-car scramble as Bergeron's on the bottom and has company. Zimbardi gets slowed up. Hoddick to the inside. Tries the slide job, has the lead for the moment, and Zimbardi knows who his dance partner is.
Yeah, Hoddick to the inside. Whoa, close call down in corner number 3. Zimbardi shoots back by. It's Hoddick and Zimbardi side by side the line. The Juice leads that lap, and look who's in third.
Well, you look at Zimbardi, he's won over 20 races in his career. Hoddick, none in the sprint car career, and you wonder if that experience is going to start playing in now, knowing how to play defense. Hoddick goes down to the bottom rail, though. Zimbardi's way up top. But there is no bite off the bottom of turn number 4 right now.
The man catching the top 2 right now is last year's winner, Jason Barney.
Yep.
He's running down to the inside in 1 and 2. He's been running high side up in 3 and 4. He's caught the top 2, and so have Kyle Patrick and Glenn Styres.
Well, that's really the key to victory, isn't it? As Chris Steele looks like he's going to go off. If you're running the top of turn or the bottom of 3 and 4, you're dead. The bottom of 2, though, yeah, you can find some bite, and Hoddick might have to learn that, or next time he's going to be back to 3rd.
The winner at Humberstone on Sunday, Chris Steele, pulls the 80 car off onto pit road, so he is done for the night.
Boy, Styres tried a wicked slide drive on the lap car of Martin. It did not work as he is side by side with Bergeron for spot number 5.
The leader in corner 3, up in that high groove. Jared Zimbardi, Todd Hoddick running 2nd. Jason Barney in 3rd. Kyle Patrick trying to make a charge at 3rd.
Right up on the rim goes Todd Hoddick, and Barney missed his mark a little bit off of 2 there, and you can see Hoddick starting to pull away. Patrick reeling in Barney for 3rd, tries a very late entrance of a slide job, and actually shows the nose for that position.
That time by 0.2 of a second gained by Todd Hoddick in that 2nd spot, so he's not going away. It's a little loose there off of corner 2.
Yeah, but amazingly, time is running out as Hoddick has almost got that car pointed straight through the middle of the corner, keeping all the speed built up that he can. And there's Jamie Turner right in front of Zimbardi, right in his line.
So your leaders work down the backstretch. Jamie Turner, as you mentioned, the next car a lap down in front of the leader, Jared Zimbardi. As they come off of corner number 4, Zimbardi runs out of room, dives down to the inside.
And if he can't clear him through here, this could be a real problem for the Juice. Hoddick with a full head of steam. And lap cars, and we got a yellow. Caution's out. That'll be interesting.
I thought we were going to do it 3 weeks in a row. Our last 2 went green to checkered, set 2 records for 20 lap features. Tonight, 25. We almost made it 3 20-lap features in a row there. We were 1 lap short of that, but we are going 25 here tonight. Nonetheless, great racing between the leaders. And Rich, you said the lap cars are at the back on the restarts.
That's
Is that
correct. Under Patriot Sprint Tour rules this year, we don't like the double file restarts. Some groups are going to that. But we figured if we take the lap cars out of it, that'll make it interesting. And there were going to be a pair of lap cars that now get shuffled to the back of the group. Justin Martin was one of those lap cars that went around. 6 laps left to go. And I don't know if that was a good break for Todd Hoddick or not. I'll tell you who it could be a break for is Jason Barney. Line or else that's when we throw green. No pass until the orange cone. You guys know that deal. So again, this restart going to be very critical, and you'll see some drivers potentially throw it in there a little bit harder, and especially in 3 and 4, we've seen drivers get loose. Will that continue to happen here? 6 to go.
And they get back on it. Todd Hoddick looking for his first career sprint car win. He's right there. It's within grasp, but here comes Jason Barney down to the inside.
A slick move by Jason Barney, and you have the winner of this event in the last 2 years in the top 2. Styres is going to look for 3rd, and he nearly lost it off the corner. How about Paige Poliak up to the task, making it a mess, and she goes up and lifts up the left front. What a battle for 4th.
Jared Zimbardi is your leader coming by. This time by, it'll be 4 laps to go for the Juice. Jason Barney sits in second. Todd Hoddick holding down third. Fourth, Glenn Styres, and a mess for fifth.
It really is. And Poliak messed up last time. This time a little bit smoother. But again, that bottom off at turn number 2, and Styres almost tagged the backstretch wall. You've got to wonder if one more yellow would be all Barney needs to win this race. And then it might be there in turn number 2. Poliak has to pull up. Either way, we got to go yellow.
Well, this makes it interesting, doesn't it? Can Jason Barney get an identical restart to the one he just had?
And what a tough break for Paige Poliak. Really can wheel a sprint car. We're finding that out pretty fast. She won that race at Erie's with the Patriots on a slick last lap move, and everybody kind of went, oh, she's pretty good. But week in and week out moves it forward. Unfortunately, after running in a battle for fourth, pulls up on the top of the racetrack, and you have to wonder about that move she made into turn number 1 if that broke apart on the 19.
Well, guys, if I can jump in just for a minute here, I've actually seen Paige for quite a few years now, because I've been going to Fremont down in Ohio just as a fan for quite a few years now, and Paige came out of the 305 ranks down there, and that is one tough group of racers down there. To win a race down there at Fremont in the 305 division is definitely an accomplishment. She won a race down there in a 360 305 challenge race as well. And then last year she had some good finishes in the 410s down there in Ohio too. So Paige knows how to wheel a sprint car, but unfortunately she's going to have to start from the tail of this field if she can get the 19 refired.
I think it all. Jason Barney looking for the restart that he had last time.
Again, the winners of this event the last 2 years command the top 2 spots as we come back to green. And that was not what Hoddick was looking for. He got really bottled up. And Barney puts it down to the bottom. And Styres will take third away, at least for the moment.
So your top 2 break away. Jason Barney following Jared Zimbardi's tire tracks in 3 and 4. But you'll see him dive down in 1 and 2.
Hoddick able to get back onto the podium for the moment. And a mad scramble going on for about 6th. And again, that's for 6th. Zimbardi holds on to the race lead. Rim riding around the outside of the racetrack. Styres has gone up there as well. White flag is out. Final trip around. The Juice is loose in 1 and 2.
He will bring it off of corner 2, work it down the backstretch.
Oh,
Steve Collins goes around in corner 1, and he'll land abruptly in corner 1 and broke the rear end on the 67.
An odd flip that could have been a whole lot worse.
He's moving around in the car, so that's good news.
So the red flag shows with 1 to go, and a tough break. Collins, boy, I've never been in a sprint car, but you get yourself back. We want to keep that wheel as straight as possible. And I think he did just hit that berm up the top of the racetrack and kind of shift sideways. Tim opening also around in turn number 3. And Zimbardi has got to be going, what more do I need to do? Well, I would look at the other side of that, Greg. Glenn Styres is going to be feeling pretty good about one more chance to make something happen, as he's been way up on the top of the speedway. Clint?
I got the doc down as he takes his helmet off, says he thinks he got in the back of Mitch a little bit. They have pulled this wheel apart, but Doc Collins is all right down here. Doc, you're all right? You possible contact down there with Mitch Brown?
Yeah, I was racing real hard there, trying to get one more spot or 2, you know. I got the wing move back, and the car was coming on real good. I was too loose at the beginning, but it was coming on good there at the end. Everybody was everywhere. There's no room to make a clean pass.
All right, there you have it. Doc Collins all right down here, and he will take it back to the pits. The left rear came apart and popped his tire up. In the infield. Smart move by the rookie here.
Had a nice top 5 on Sunday down at Humberstone.
Clint, what was Glenn doing there in turn 1 and 2, getting it fired up for the restart? Was he testing out the lane above the berm? Final trip, green, white together.
One more trip around the Juice, and Jason Barney lead them in a 1 and 2. Nice move by Barney, but Juice has the momentum.
And I thought he would clutch the backstretch wall. Into 3 and 4, Styres throws it in big time. Off of turn number 4, the Juice gets the win. Barney hangs on to second. Wow.
That was the most exciting third place finish I've ever seen by Glenn Styres as the Juice wins it. Barney second, Styres third.
Ah, what a nice finish.
Here for the Patriot Sprint Tour. The Juice is loose out of his car. Let's hear it for him. Yeah! A little sigh of relief from Jared Zimbardi. A lot of wild action behind you. Didn't totally see it, but you saw Jason Barney and Todd Hoddick. And they were. Uh-oh. Check. Oh, there we go. Tell me about that, Ron.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling in the world to see caution coming out when you're coming off of turn 4. And my heart just sank because I knew I had to do the start all over again. And seeing Barney on the bottom there running, I was just hoping that I could hold it on the top. And I did. He got up close and it made me real nervous. And I got way out in the wash stuff, but I never lifted the throttle. And that paid off.
Were you concerned at all? Maybe the bottom was coming in, you know, that's the Barney line.
Yeah, I thought maybe his car was just coming in because I expected the bottom to be good early on and the top to come in, but I think it was the exact opposite. So that just goes to show you how much we know.
As I was telling the fans, you've been doing some other races on Friday nights. You've never been here, we talked about that earlier, but what's the coming first night there?
Yeah, it happened to us back in 2011. I love winning at Ohsweken. I love racing at Ohsweken, and hopefully we can get up here on some local nights and try and get a few more of these. Thanks.
The Juice, Jared Zimbardi, scores the win. His third Patriot win of the year. Talking to Jason Barney about his second place run. Certainly eventful, especially on the final lap. But you had a line that it took a while to come in, huh?
Yeah, Jared just, he got to the outside early, and I spent too much time on the bottom, but that's kind of been my money here, so I kind of stayed a little too long, and once I saw the outside down there and I switched, I kind of was even, but I wasn't as good as him. He did down the front stretch a lot better than I could. The only chance was to just dive bomb him on the last restart, but he's one of the good guys, so I wasn't going to go all the way up on him. I left him enough room, and he put it in there. He had better cars deserved to win. It was a great racetrack. We love coming here, and wish we could come more. Nice job. Thank you.
Jason Barney, second place finish after the win. Last season, Glenn, there's Glenn. Third place, almost second, almost wall. You sure made it interesting. Like Greg said up there, that was the most interesting third place finish we've seen in a while.
Well, you know what? That corner is so thin, and I don't want to wreck these guys because we all race together, and you know, it was so exciting to actually be able to keep up with them. But the thing was, the fastway was around the top, so I had to kind of dive bomb and try to sneak back in. And that's really the only way you can pass. And the bottom kind of went away, and top was the dominant spot. So it was really, we were all the same speed, so it was just somebody had to make a mistake.
Nice job. Thanks. Glenn Styres rounds out your podium. They're going to take a top 3 photo. Guys, always a pleasure coming in here. Obviously, the racing speaks for itself, but it's great to work with all you guys. My privilege, cannot wait for these Sprint Car Nationals. When I'm back up here, maybe you guys can wait for it in the stands. But appreciate it. Again, for more information, PatriotSprintTour.com. be on Twitter at Patriot Sprints or on Facebook at Patriot or Patriot Sprint Tour is the on the Facebook page for that.
Glenn is going to race Peter Mercanti here in a 100-meter dash. Now, Glenn pulled a dirty trick on Peter. Peter knew he'd be racing on the dirt, but didn't know Glenn was going to water the dirt and make it mud. And also what Glenn did is he's armed all of his employees with squirt guns and water balloons. 105 of them. All right. Are you ready? Glenn's ready. Peter, are you ready? All right. 100-meter dash. 3, 2, 1, go. And they're running through the mud. Mercanti's got him. Glenn goes down. Everybody's pelting Glenn now. Oh, no, his plan backfired. His plan backfires. Okay, hold your fire. We got injured runners here. Now, that was the dirtiest of dirty tricks ever, I think. How about a hand for Peter Mercanti and Glenn Styres having fun out here? All right, waiting for the scooter, last chance, 0094121. 0094121, a red ticket. Claim it right now or we'll give it to you after the next feature event. Mark, 2 more minutes. How about a hit for Mark, giving away all this great stuff from Jibs Action Sports and, of course, the Myers team over here. Do we have a winner?
Clint, we have a winner.
Mercanti's got him. 3, 2, 1, go. And they're running through the mud. Mercanti's got him. Glenn goes down. Everybody's pelting Glenn now. Oh, no, his plan backfired. His plan backfires. Okay, hold your fire. We got injured runners here. Now, that was the dirtiest of dirty tricks ever, I think. How about a hand for Peter Mercanti and Glenn Styres having fun out here?